Welcome in, everyone, to downtown Tulsa tonight. We're coming to you live from One Oak Field. It's the Tulsa Roughnecks as they get set to take on the Swope Park Rangers as the 2018 USL season winding down, just a handful of games remaining, and there are a lot of playoff spots up for grab. Tonight, though, we will not see either of these two teams clinch, and the only team that can clinch is Swope Park. Their next opportunity would be coming up this weekend. But, boy, are they on a hot streak as they enter Tulsa tonight. Dave Saunders, 49 points, have climbed to 6th in the standings in the Western table. Tulsa's still there at the bottom with 20 points with Seattle. But tonight, we'll see one of the hottest teams in USL come into Tulsa here tonight.
Absolutely. They come in a rich vein of form. They've always been a good team. They've always produced good teams. And with those three that we'll talk about up front, scoring the majority of their goals, they're just a team on fire at the moment.
And the home side coming off of a loss to Sacramento on Wednesday. It's been a little bit of a rugged schedule here over the past week as you see the teams make their way out of the tunnel. Tulsa on the Roughneck side played last Saturday, got the win against San Antonio, then the quick turnaround to Wednesday night, then here tonight as Swope Park comes in. And Swope undefeated 7-0 all-time versus Tulsa during this series. The one little hiccup, though, in their resume this year has been the fact that they are still below 500 away from home, 5-6-4. So the Roughnecks have an opportunity tonight to take advantage of that with the back-to-back Western Conference champs. And Dave, you were on the call last Wednesday night. That was a rough one. It was a good start for the Roughnecks against Sacramento, but ended up being a rough way to finish. Yeah, they just couldn't break the deadlock, Pop. As you said, they had a good start, and then they're up against a really good attacking team. Sacramento Republic, another great side that came in and just wiped them away in the end. 4-1 defeat. Shame for the Roughnecks they couldn't follow up on that 2-1 win against Antonio. And here, right here is the almost goal from Vukovic, and what a tremendous save there early on. It kind of set the tone for that match against Sacramento. It did, and if that had gone in, it might have been a different story. You look here, look, Vukovic, what was he doing up there from left back? But what a save from Josh Cohen, who is a class act. Vukovic will get his opportunity tonight to make it right as that missed opportunity there against Sacramento on a Wednesday night. It's Swope Park in town. As we mentioned, one of the hottest teams in USL in 6th place there in the Western table, taking on the Tulsa Roughnecks tonight. And when we come back after this break, we'll be set for the kickoff, and we'll run down the starting 11 on each side when we come back next here from downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field. I'm Jeremy Poplin. This is Dave Saunders. We'll take a timeout and be back after this.
Defines you. Your pain, your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
Hi. You're picking up your SUV, right? Yes. Cool. Well, we not only fixed the dents, but we added a few things. Built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay compatibility, rear seat reminder, teen driver technology, and a 7-inch diagonal touchscreen. We also painted it. Whoa. This isn't our car.
It's a Chevy.
You're right, this is the Chevy Equinox. All those features come standard.
It's pretty much everything mine's not.
What more could you want?
Get almost $4,500 below MSRP on this 2018 Equinox LT when you finance with GM Financial. Chevy Drives, Oklahoma.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
Can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/powerhours.
Stuff.
When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org.
All right, welcome back into One Oak Field tonight as you get a shot of the bench there with the Roughnecks with Swope Park in town here tonight. There's Zendejas, who's on loan there from Sporting KC. He will get his 11th start of the season coming up tonight. And Vukovic running off of the pitch tonight wearing the captain's armband for the Roughnecks. We've got a third member of the crew who we will welcome in as well. He is Brady Ballou, who's standing by pitch side. Brady, how's the surface down there tonight? Because we've had a lot of rain over the past 24 hours.
Perfect conditions for just an electric kind of game. Both teams really looking to cement themselves and how they play. Paulo Nagamura, the coach for Swope Park Rangers, he has kind of created and understands and develops the culture at Sporting Kansas City over his 5-year tenure. The Roughnecks really looking to kind of find their stride here. The playing surface is perfect. The weather is perfect. We're looking for a good game tonight, fellas.
Thank you very much, Brady. And Brady will be alongside throughout the entire evening. Here is the starting 11 for the opponents tonight of Swope Park as they are coming in tonight. And Dave, anything stand out about you outside of Zendejas there in between the pipes?
Well, I mean, as I alluded to in the opening, you know, Belmar, Blackwood and Barry, 15 goals for Barry, 6 for Blackwood, 9 for Belmar. I mean, what a front three that is. I think the caption there shows 4-4-2. I think they'll probably go 4-3-3 and really attack the Roughnecks from the off.
You mentioned Barry. 15 goals, just 4 off the lead there behind Cameron Lancaster. And let's take a look at the starting 11 for your Tulsa Roughnecks. As you see there, Vukovic there, who we highlighted in our pregame show. And Covarrubias there, kind of parked centrally there in the middle of that lineup, Dave. We'll be looking for big things out of him tonight. Yes, indeed. Covarrubias and Mirkovic will probably sit. Savania will probably play just in behind Gamble, and then you've got the exciting Eti Tavares probably on the right, Rivas on the left. So the Roughnecks are without Jesus Ferreira tonight. So Michael Gamble, he'll be the lone striker. We are almost set and ready to go this evening. Our referee tonight is Elvis Osmanovic. His assistants are Jeremy Weed, Matthew Rodman, and the fourth tonight is Matt Trotter. And we'd like to welcome all of you watching in on Cox Your View here locally and on ESPN+. I'm Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders, and Brady Ballou getting set to call the action for you here tonight. Roughnecks early on waste a ball that finds itself out of play up near midfield. Billiou with the throw in. Find out how long it takes each one of these teams time to settle in. As we mentioned, Swope undefeated against the Roughnecks all time. And there's Eti with his first touch of the night. We've always talked about how Eti needs to build a little bit of confidence in the early going, and you saw there some good skill from Eti here in the early going. Maybe that is what will push him along here this evening. Yeah, I think, you know, the Roughnecks will look at this season and look at the positives that have come out of it, and one of them will be Eti Tavares. For me, he's arguably the quickest player in the team. He likes to take on the left back, you know, so Billiou will have his work cut out tonight, and he's an exciting player. First touch from Rivas. 10 goals on the season for Rivas. Showing there down the near touch line. Here's Swope with an opportunity here in the early going. A opportunity that is sent over the top of the bar, and it's an early one, and it's Tyler Blackwood with his first real touch. And Dave, you saw him take it directly there towards the center of the pitch. Let one go with the left, just too much over the top of the bar. Yeah, I think Blackwood hits them with both feet, doesn't mind. The lad born in London, 6 goals this season, very important. He plays as the striker up the middle, but as we said, he's got Haji, Barry and Belmore, and also Felipe Hernandez tonight supporting him. Blackwood, 27 years old, played his college ball at South Florida. some time in Sacramento as well. 30th appearance on the season for Blackwood here this evening.
And I remember seeing him play and commentated on a game in England when he played for Newport County, South Wales side in League Two, and he actually played against my old city, Exeter City, in a 1-1 draw. So I remember him then, and I remember him now. He's a good player.
Covarrubias finds Josh Morton towards the near touchline, working there, a give and go. Nice with Rivas. Vukovic, maybe a tad bit much on that next touch that he had off of the service from Rivas. But the Roughnecks now will have a throw in.
Yeah, it's a strong challenge from Graham Smith, but perfectly legal on Vukovic. But it's good to see those give and goes, isn't it, with him?
There's Rivas. First touch pops in the air. Cervania unable to track that one down. Morton with the challenge. Assist and points in favor of Swope. All eyes tonight on Swope will be on number 92. That's Barry. 7 straight goals in his last 7 starts. He is the definition of on fire, and has found himself now in that golden boot race, just trailing by 4. 15 total goals. The leader has 19, as we mentioned. That's Lancaster.
And that's a USL record, isn't it? The 7 consecutive games. So well done to him.
Not only that, but a big run by Swope here over the last 5 games. Ferris G unable to save it before it trickles over the byline, and that sets up the first corner of the night for Swope.
Yeah, Paris G just couldn't keep the ball from going over the white line, so some early defending to do for Fabian Serda and his defence here.
This is Swope's first trip here since June 27th of 2017. A 2-1 winner that night. In-swinger curling. Paris G, the only defender, or only player really within the vicinity. That one poked away by Rivas with the left, but brought down. All played in over the top. Header there, looking. Had an opportunity. That was Barry. It was a well-placed ball there from Didic.
And Jacinho, who's back in the side after injury, with a very important interception there, Pop, or it could well have been 1-0 to the away side.
And it was a nice, well-weighted ball played in over the top, too, with a simple header there, looking for Barry. Here towards the corner, Belmar still keeps possession of it with the left foot. Looking there, and that's going to be a handball on Covarrubias in a very dangerous position here, Dave.
It is. Covarrubias, who was the unfortunate handballer the other night against Sacramento when he thought the referee had, well, there was no whistle and he picked it up. That one a little bit more harsh, I guess. It was hit right at him, but it is, as you say, in a dangerous position. It is right of centre. A Swope look at Fabian Serda's goal.
Covarrubias signed with Tulsa on July 26th. So from the dangerous spot, Belmar is there. Amitov is there as well, and along with Hernandez. Step over, it'll be Belmar, and he skies that one. Or excuse me, that's not Belmar, that's Silva. So Silva hit the field goal in Stillwater, which by the way is about an hour west of here. And if he had an opportunity, he'd want that one back.
Absolutely, yes. Really just got completely underneath it, didn't he? And nothing doing at all there for the Brazilian. And the Roughnecks can look to get forward again and foul on Mirkovic.
Hernandez commits that foul. Vukovic hops back up. Looked like he was maybe looking for some place to go quickly, unable to do so. Let me get your thoughts on Covarrubias, Dave, with what you've seen from him. You know, he's brought in all those minutes played with Los Dos, of veteran presence. you know what his responsibility was when he was brought in here to kind of solidify that midfield from the holding position. How do you feel like that he's fit that role?
I like him. I think he's done well in there with Mirkovic. They've been able to play, Coach Henson's been able to play a 4-2-3-1 because of that. For me, it's been a slight surprise that he's been substituted as much as he has. It's not normal, is it, that you see your central two substituted? I think there was one game, a couple of games ago, where both Mirkovic and Covarrubias were substituted in the second half. Now, I don't know, there may have been an injury, I don't know, but I actually like him, the man on the ball there, just playing it back to Fabian Soder. I think he has solidified things. Doesn't get forward, because that's not his role in the team, but I like him.
Brady, you've played against Covarrubias in the past. Your thoughts on his time here in Tulsa so far?
Well, the first thing that caught my eye over the years, like playing against the Los Angeles Galaxy, it's always strange to me playing against a defensive midfielder that rocked high top vapors. It's the first thing that sticks out to you. But ultimately, Covarrubias, he's a stellar player. He's definitely an anchor in the middle, a guy you can count on. He was a veteran presence for that young Los Dos team over the course of 2-3 years. So it's good to have him here in Tulsa. And I think he's brought a new life to the center of the park.
It's amazing how we talk about a 26-year-old as being a veteran, isn't it, Pop?
But I think that's, in a way, I think that fits perfect with this league. You know, you get to 26, 27, by the time you hit that number, typically in this league, you've put in some minutes. Several seasons worth of duty. Here's Vukovic looking there, finding the aforementioned Covarrubias. I like this little build up here on the near touch line to where our position is. That's where most of the Roughnecks attack has been so far, trying to find a way to get Rivas. It seemingly is involved early.
Well, you know my thoughts on Joachim Rivas. What a great player, and the Roughnecks play better when he's on the ball, and they need him on the ball. He again got substituted against Sacramento because he just didn't have the ball. Credit Sacramento, obviously saw him as a danger and stifled his supply.
Tavares knocked off of the ball. Here's an opportunity. That one was just behind Belmar. Didn't have a chance to really run onto it. Mirkovic with the battle. Cervania, can he come away with it? He does. Just to the edge of the center circle, has help to the outside. It's Tavares. Etty now from the touchline. Finds Paris G. Unable to link up there. Running on ball. Jacinho has to attempt to slide. Now they'll switch off as Paris G now will take the responsibilities. Jacinho tracks back to his center spot. Little bump there from Tavares. Referee says play on, and Etty's going to come away with it. Now Etty's got a little bit of space. He's not afraid to go 1v1 against a defender. Smart there to give it up, and just has that one knocked away from him there for a brief moment. Silva.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why the Roughnecks had success against San Antonio was in the 2-1 win here just 2 games ago, was Etty Tavares getting one-on-one with the defender, and that's what they'll want to get him on tonight because he is quick.
Nice touch there from Belmar. Jacinho, the one defender that's there, shot directly at Serta. Volleys that one up in the air and comes down with it. That's Blackwood with a driven ball. Serta did well. And that front post covered up.
Well, 2 things there, isn't it? Blackwood's not afraid to have a shot, is he? And Fabian Serta makes his 103rd save of the season, and it's nice for a goalkeeper to get one hit right at you. So good first save for Serta, who still tops the goalkeeping saves in the USL.
Yeah, Serta coming in tonight had 101 saves, 2 clean sheets. Morton's ball wide, saved by Tavares. Paris G off the reception, looking there for placement. Had a man that was in the vicinity, that was Gamble. Good job there defensively. And now that will be a goal kick coming up for Swope Park. But nice build up there. I like that 1-2 from Tavares there, who's on the touchline. Paris G keeps the run going forward. And really a good ball there from the byline, just unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky, well defended as well. Good positioning from the Swope Park Rangers defenders there. Meant that there was no tap-in for any of the strikers there for the Roughnecks. But as you said, it was a great build-up down the right-hand side. Eti Tavares and Paris G linking up really well. It's been a good start from the Roughnecks.
Has been a good start.
It's been good. And we've seen this so often this season. You know, those of you tuning in and you're not used to watching the Roughnecks play, the bottom side, that you know, we're quite used to seeing long periods of possession from the Roughnecks, but they don't want to give away the soft goals that has happened on a few occasions.
Akhmetov with the challenge there on Josh Morton. Blackwood, nifty touch to the corner of the 18. Belmar. Back now to Storm, and Swope Park Rangers will reset. From the 4 across the back line. Looking over the top for Blackwood off of the run. Unable to find him. Miscommunication there between Storm and Graham Smith. Almost gave an opportunity for Gamble, or excuse me, for Mirkovic.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to throw himself into the challenge, was he? I should say as well, Claudio Muniz is on the bench tonight. Giusinho back from injury, preferred tonight alongside Josh Morton, and they really have got their work cut out with Tyler Blackwood. He's just full of running, and he's got speed, agility, and he doesn't mind hitting a shot from anywhere.
Yeah, good to see Giusinho back there from that injury. As you see the bench there of the Roughnecks. Belmar will run onto this one. Has it. Ball played across. Great ball from Belmar. Just unable to handle it there is Barry.
And I think credit Paris G as well. He did well defensively there, just put Barry off. And it was a good ball in, as you say, but Paris G just doing enough for Barry not to have a clear sight at goal, and that's why he headed it over.
See there, Serta placing the ball. Select is the official soccer ball of the USO. For the latest Select products and special offers, you can visit their website, selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Brady, we just hit the 15-minute mark. Some of your thoughts here in the early moments?
It's a bit of a chess match for me so far. Clearly, you know, Swope Park Rangers has kind of this methodical way of building, especially trying to get Fernandez on the ball. And then you're looking for one thing out of Tyler Blackwood, and that's to get in behind. And with the likes of him and Carlton Belmar, that's no secret. So it's up to the Roughnecks to kind of thwart those attacks over and over while also maintaining their possession, stick to their plan, and build out of the back. And so this is a game. It's going to be a few more minutes of feeling out, but ultimately I think that 30th minute mark, we're going to see the game open up.
We'll look at some of those possession numbers coming up here in a bit. With what we've seen here through the first segment of this match. We're starting to get the sense, Dave, that maybe Swope has settled in now off of the good start from the Tulsa side. Storm, they're fighting with Vukovic. Vukovic has to be careful here. He's going to track, kind of chase down Storm for a few moments.
Yeah, just referee's just going to have a little word with them both, calm things down. Vukovic didn't like something that was said, and Storm was involved there, but I think the assistant referee is discussing it with Vukovic, and nothing doing there. Just coming back to Swope settling in. It was interesting to note, Pop, that they've played their last 5 games at home, haven't they? This is, you know, they haven't been away from home for quite a while.
Dangerous ball given away. Covarrubias knocked it free for a brief moment. Silva. From distance there. No imminent danger on that attempt, but a very dangerous situation, though, right there in the D. That could have spelled disaster for the Roughnecks.
It could have been. It could have been one of those that crept inside the post. But Fabian Serta was the calmest man in the stadium and just saw it go past his left-hand post there. Nothing doing, 0-0.
Morton just outside center circle at half. A foul committed. Rivas had a seat. That's Storm. So look at the foul there. Replays tonight brought to you by Harscope, harscopejobs.com. Also Tankersley Food Service. There's a little bit there of what Brady Blue was talking about, trying to see if they could somehow sneak that ball in over the top behind Jacinho, looking for Blackwood.
Michael Gamble up front for the Roughnecks has not had any service to feet yet, or nothing to run onto. It's going to be a long night for him if they can't get the ball into his feet, playing as the lone striker tonight.
What's he had, maybe one touch so far?
I think so.
Good job there by Mirkovic, holding off Storm. Rivas keeping the ball active. Morton off the square. Looking long now for Rivas. I'll have to see on the replay that whether Rivas just couldn't get there in enough time. It looked like that it was a good ball that was played in.
And I think he was trying to take it down and run at the same time, wasn't he? And I don't think he did either of those things.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's after. We'll maybe see if we can have another look at it here in a moment. Storm was right there with him step for step. Gave him a little bump. Maybe that might have affected it for a brief moment. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, he just mistouched it there.
I think he missed it. Yeah, he just wanted to bring it down and run at the same time, and didn't do either.
Roughnecks were holding possession there along the far touchline, deep in the corner. They have a throw-in coming up now. G with the throw-in. Poke there, back in the direction, looking for Gamble off the byline. Can't link up with him. Tavares, the guilty party, the hack from behind. See there, Mirkovic having a few words with the center tonight, and Elvis Osmanovic.
He always likes to have a chat with the referee, doesn't he, Mirkovic?
Mirkovic might like to have a chat with everyone that's in the opposing jersey. Or should I say anything that's not in his own side's colors? I think you always know where you stand with him at any point.
That's very true.
Looking wide, Barry. Halfway line from Covarrubias. Rivas is there. Rivas now. Ball on his left. Cuts back to the inside. Step over move. How about that? Vukovic. It's well done by the Roughnecks, and that has earned themselves a corner to the far side. That is our first corner of the night, our Metro PCS corner of the night. Metro PCS wireless figured out.
And it was all made by the man just back from international duty for El Salvador, Joaquim Rivas, the top goal scorer for the Roughnecks, twisting and turning. Vukovic with the cross and headed away by Smith. Here's the corner.
In swinger, and the keeper has it, and Dejas easily picked out of the air. And I'm glad that you brought that up, that opportunity for Rivas. What an experience that was for him.
I mean, it was. They got beat 5-0, didn't they, by Brazil, and Rivas didn't get onto the field. But
just
Brady,
to be in that moment.
There you go. And Brady Ballou knows everything about everything, doesn't he? And he said that he got Fred's shirt, and he was mixing with the Brazilian players. So is that right, Brady?
Oh yeah, Joaquin Rivas got almost the all-star weekend treatment. I mean, when you can sniff Neymar from the sideline, like I had mentioned previous games, I don't care if you play 1 minute, I don't care if you don't even play, but if you're sharing a stadium with Neymar, you're doing something special. So kudos to Joaquin and all the effort he's put in over the years from UNLV, Sacramento, now here in Tulsa. Kudos.
And knowing how much that his family supports him and how much that that love and appreciation goes back and forth. Not just a big moment for Joaquin Rivas, but a big moment for his family as well.
Absolutely.
Anytime that you can sport your country's colors, just an amazing feeling.
I'd say if you're a neutral watching us on ESPN Plus, or Cox, your view, or you a neutral that's wandered into the stadium tonight, I think you have a difficulty picking out which side is at the bottom of the league and which side is fifth place. It's pretty even here at the moment between these two. 24 minutes gone and 0-0.
Well, as we said going in, 5, 6, and 4 away from home for Swope. Tavares spins away, brings the ball to a complete stop. Lucky there, played back centrally. Vukovic. Gamble's first real opportunities. Nifty ball played in. Vukovic sits there. Oh, towards the front post. Just a missed chance for Joaquin Rivas and a missed chance for the Roughnecks here in the 25th minute.
Well, again, Vukovic linking up so well with Rivas. Rivas putting him in there. Vukovic trying to return the favour. Here we'll see on the replay, it comes in there Rivas just a little bit forward of the post. He wanted to be a little bit more in front of the goal. He had to kind of turn and try and make something of that, but nothing doing.
Best opportunity of the night for the Tulsa side. Another great ball from Vukovic. Rivas had to wait for just a moment, that one brief hesitation, trying to see how that bounce was going to come in off of the turf. Allowed the defender to clean that one up.
And Vukovic, he is doing well with that trusty left foot tonight. Maybe the last couple of games, a few of his crosses have not been up to the standard that he would expect and Coach Hensey would expect as well. But tonight, that sweet left foot has put Rivas in a couple of times, and it's been really a potent weapon for the Roughnecks. Here they come again. And Zendejas is just able to get on top of the Gamble cross.
Zendejas has been true to form so far this evening. In his 11 starts that he has now, of those 11, he has 4 clean sheets.
Yeah, it's been interesting for me that I was looking at the lineups for Swope Park Rangers as we've got an injury here. They've used 4 different goalkeepers, haven't they? And
yes.
Eric Dick spinning goal, and Zendejas didn't play in the last game in the 2-0 win, but he, is here tonight. We've seen him pop, haven't we, in past seasons. He's a quality act.
But to me, that's beneficial, I think, on both sides. Obviously, it is sporting that you have a great franchise like Swope that you've put time and effort into. And Brady talked about their culture. Look at everything that they've accomplished, back-to-back Western Conference champs. Eric Dick has been a Sporting KC loanee, as has Zendejas, obviously, with 11 here this evening, his 11th one.
Yeah, Eric Dick has played the last 2 games. Zendejas, last time he played was in the 1-0 win at home to Fresno on September the 9th. So 2 quality goalkeepers there, and not to mention the other 2.
Trying to force it wide to Blackwood. Poor ball, and Josh Morton Was able to intercept. Speaking of Morton, here he is one more time. I think by this point in the season, no longer refer to anyone as a rookie, especially the number of minutes that Josh Morton has put in this season.
Yeah, we often say Josh Morton, he can play in a number of positions, but he seems to have been preferred by Coach Ensign as being one of the two centre backs.
Intercepted. Covarrubias hammers this one back towards Colton Storm. Tracks it back, and now they will test the opposite side of the pitch. Vidic. Flip over for there from Covarrubias. Swope comes away with it, trying to connect up. Saw Paris G hit the turf there. That ball almost found its way to sneak through, Dave.
Yeah, I think Paris G and Josh Morton just got in each other's way. I think they both wanted to clear the ball, and they ended up kind of kicking each other, nearly allowing Tyler Blackwood in. And you do not want to give a soft goal away when you've worked this hard for just less than the first half an hour. The Roughnecks must, you know, be solid at the back, not give soft goals away, and keep in this one as long as possible.
For a team that was one of the league leaders in passes in Swope, interested to see here tonight that the Roughnecks with 56% of the possession so far here this evening.
It is interesting, isn't it? Because that stat that you and I were looking at before the broadcast, you know, they're 5,000 plus. They're quite a way ahead, Swope Park Rangers, of anybody else in their passes. I'm sure Swope Park Rangers fans wouldn't be surprised to hear us talking about this because they know their team so well. But tonight, they're having to chase the ball a little bit from the bottom side here, the Roughnecks, who like to pass the ball as well.
And obviously, when you have the lion's share of possession, that means that you are going to have more passes. Tulsa does that and has been more accurate so far, 75% on their accuracy with passing here this evening, and even close to 60% in the Swope Park half. Belmar, though, ever dangerous. Ball was a tad bit high, allowed Vukovic to gain the upper hand. Covarrubias spinning away. Ball played in hot to Gamble. Gamble missed opportunity, had Paris G that was there, but a mistake here by Swope. Here's Paris. Plenty of space in front of him. Gamble there fighting. Throw in now for the Tulsa side.
Sylvania just missing out there of possession. He's another man here, right on the ball now. Needs to be on the ball, and he's playing just in behind Michael Gamble. But again, I think if you're Coach Ensign, you're looking at this first 30 minutes, I don't know if Brady would agree with me, but Sylvania hasn't really been on the ball, and that's going to be important if the Roughnecks are going to break the deadlock.
Sylvania is one of those guys for the Roughnecks that he's kind of given the keys to control this team at his will. It's up to him to inject himself into the game, and you see that a lot with Hernandez for Swope Park. This is a guy where more often than not you see forwards that, you know, kind of trigger that press, but it looks like Nagamura and his staff have trusted this 20-year-old to start the press, and it's fascinating watching this young man work across the field, and just to kind of, if we could GPS track this guy in real time, he's got to have 2 or 3 miles under his belt already.
Serta leaves here for Morton. 5 shots so far from Swope Park Rangers, just 1 for the Roughnecks. Only 1 has been on target, though, for Swope Park. Cervania has help to the outside. Rivas. Oh, Gamble. The ball played right on the ground there from Rivas through the corner of the 18. There's a bit much on it, and Gamble had that one just bounce off the inside of his foot.
One of those that is hit right at you.
Yep.
And you just have to get a good first touch.
You got to handle it somehow.
Yeah, and he just didn't, did he? Pop, latest score is Colorado Springs 0. Phoenix Rising have taken the lead there 1. Of interest, of course, to any Swope Park Rangers fans tuning in tonight.
Yeah, we'll have a out-of-town scoreboard for you coming up in our halftime segment, plus a look at the current standings. Things are extremely tight here in the West table for those last few remaining spots. Swope cannot clinch tonight, even with a win. The earliest that they can clinch would be next Saturday.
And a big game down the turnpike tomorrow, of course. Sacramento Republic, who've stayed in Oklahoma, travel to OKC tomorrow. OKC, of course, knocking on the door, looking for that 8th spot, along with the team that were beaten by Swope Park in the last game and beaten by the Roughnecks last Saturday, and that's San Antonio.
Well, and I want to clarify that September 29th is the earliest that they can clinch. They don't play again until October 3rd. And that's a massive game at Papa Murphy's Park in Sacramento for Swope.
Yeah, what a game that's going to be. You can catch it all on ESPN Plus, can't you? It's really hotting up. This is, you know, it's a good league. Of course, the Roughnecks fighting at, you know, at the other end of the table, trying not to finish bottom of the table, looking for their 4th win, and the 3 wins they've had have all come here. So acquitting themselves very well tonight, but Swope will be desperate for all 3 points from One Oak here tonight.
Tulsa still has 2 road trips. Oh, Tavares looking for Gamble. Here in the 35th minute. Still find themselves with possession. Mirkovic. Held back, knocked it away from Rivas. Belmar keeps it in play. Long ball from Belmar there, looking for Barry. Well done there from Paris G.
Yeah, the Roughnecks can have quite a big say in everything, can't they?
Yeah, they can. You look at who they have left. They're at Reno, coming up on the 29th. They come back here on the 6th with Rio Grande Valley. Another trip to St. Louis on the 10th, and then they round things out here at One Oak on October 13th with Seattle Sounders, FC2.
That last game against Seattle could be a battle to see who does finish bottom of the league. Of course, those 2 teams down there, Tulsa and Seattle, shared out that amazing 4-4 draw, didn't they, when Jesus Ferreira, poor old Jesus, got the hat-trick. They were 4-1 up and somehow managed to draw the game 4-4.
Barry has it. Miscommunication there. Belmar kind of split one way. Blackwood went the other. Good battle here at midfield right now. Cervania. A little help from the official. Covarrubias started about 10 feet to the right of where the official Elvis Osmanovic wanted him to begin. Here in the 36th minute. Special thank you to Soccer City in Tulsa. They are the official, one of the official sponsors for the Roughnecks. And a chance.
The referee's given a free kick there against Rivas. He wanted a free kick given to him, or would have been a penalty, excuse me, of course. But referee right there. Had a good game, the referee, so far.
I think the thing that has been at least foul here in my mind, when you get late in the season and you look at what Swope has done, especially with those games at home going all the way back to August 29th. They've played at home every game since then with only 1 defeat to St. Louis. This late in the season, if you want to make a run, you've got to protect your home pitch, and they did that. And that has directly put them here back in the mix.
There you go. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, worldwide, if you win your games of soccer at home and then you get what you can away, as I said, they'll be desperate for 3 points here. If they came away with a point, I guess they'd be moderately happy. But, you know, they are playing against the bottom side. And so they want 3, but you're right. They've looked after things at home, and that's what's put them right up in the mix now. And as you say, they can clinch as, you know, if it's not next Saturday, Saturday after that.
Not only that, Dave, they've only played one on the road since August 11th. And that was at San Antonio.
And they won that one, I think, didn't they? 2-1.
Yes.
And they've always made the playoffs, haven't they? I mean, they are a quality side.
Barry with a quick throw to Storm.
But the Roughnecks are making it very, very difficult for Swope Park Rangers tonight.
Sylvia was calling for it.
Mike Ensign's really set up this 4-2-3-1 tonight with, as we've alluded to, Covarrubias and Mirkovic sitting in front of that back four, and that's what's making it difficult for Swope Park Rangers.
Sitting here and watching Barry's movement from our near side on this pitch back centrally, then now back to his normal position. He is a handful of times. Blackwood settles. Good job from Jacinho. Clears that one up for the Roughnecks back line. Cervania. Bigger body Silva. Doesn't take much just to put a little bit of weight there on Cervania. Cervania wanted some space, gives a two-handed shove 2 times in a row. That's Storm, who has just really been in almost every altercation so far that's happened here this evening.
Yeah, Colton Storm has. He's got to be careful. I think the referee's saying that's your last warning. If you do any more, I'm going to have to book you for persistent fouling. I thought Cervania there, the first time we've really seen him, you know, get the ball to feet and show a bit of skill driving down that left-hand side. Gives the Roughnecks a chance with Vukovic here.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. You can follow at USL on Twitter. And I would be following Tuesday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern, noon our time, for a big USL announcement on social media on that day.
Yeah, looking forward to that announcement. As we see that there's been an early goal for Rio Grande. Rio Grande 1, Seattle Sounders 2-0. And it's 0-0 between St. Louis and San Antonio in another big game. San Antonio desperate for points.
The entire bench for Swope. Hand raised in the air there. I believe that might be the last warning there on Mirkovic as well.
Yeah, I think it's good refereeing, and you know, but the referee's patience in the end is tried, isn't it? And you know, if you've done 2 or 3 things, minor things, they add up, and it's I mean, strict in the rule book, it's called persistent fouling, but I think he's refereed it pretty well. But he's made it clear, hasn't he? Now he said it's stall out and said that's enough. Next one. So I think Storm or Mirkovic, you're going to be in the book if you do anything else wrong.
From the center of the pitch, that ball driven. They were expecting Belmar to make a run at that point.
But I think that's what the Roughnecks have done really well tonight, is they've squeezed the play and they've made...
Yeah, they've controlled that aspect of it.
Yeah, they've made Swope go long there.
And when you make them go long, knowing that you've got Belmar that's got speed and Blackwood, you've got to be able to have every angle of it covered, and they've done that as well so far here in the first half.
They have, and here they come now on the attack.
Tavares leaves here, offsides, the flag is up. Paris G has both arms out, a bit befuddled.
Yeah, it was a close one, but obviously he stood right next to the assistant referee. There is our center.
USL's Pick'em contest continues on as well. How well do you know the USL? You can test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly pick competition every week against experts from across the league. Speaking of experts, Brady, final minutes here before we find out how much stoppage time is added. A few quick observations from you here on what the Roughnecks need to do to make sure that this is still level here at half.
Yeah, I'm down here at pitch level, and I've got a great view of Nagamura and his staff for Swope Park. And in the 29th minute, I just happened to look over and see him having a word with Carlton Belmar on that far side, just telling him to be patient, but to continue to make those runs in behind. For a guy like Belmar, it's going to be patience and pace for him. And take nothing away from the skill. The guy is relentless in front of goal and puts away his opportunities. So as long as he's patient and can take his chances well, I think they're going to be keen on getting him involved. And for the Roughnecks, it's been another bright start, very disciplined, and look forward to a good second half where I thought this game would open up a little bit earlier, but both teams playing in those blocks of 4 and not much giving.
There's a key word there, Dave Saunders, that Brady mentioned, and that's disciplined. And at times that has not always been the case for the Roughnecks this year so far. But so far in the first half, so good. Now they still have a little bit of work to do. Blackwood is on. Serta's off of his line. And Swope Park, just as we has mentioned it, has found the back of the net. And look who it is for 8 games in a row. It is Haji Barry, who now finds himself just 3 goals off of the lead for the Golden Boot here in USL, and Swope Park strikes here in the 45th.
Well, you can't keep this man down, can you, Haji Berry there? As you say, 8 games, 8 goals. Absolutely fantastic. And you were talking about discipline, and the Roughnecks just took their eye off it here. Serta comes out, he can't get there, and that is the worst time to concede a goal, as we know, anywhere in the world in a game of soccer is a minute before halftime.
But it's everything that we had talked about that the Roughnecks had done extremely well. They had handled Belmar. You know who got the 3 touches there? Belmar, Blackwood, and then Barry with the finish.
Yeah, we talked about the potent front 3. And you know, Roughnecks have made it difficult. And to be fair, Haji Berry hasn't really seen a lot of the ball.
No, he hasn't.
And yet that is what a good goal scorer does. And almost Vukovic putting the Chilean goalkeeper there in trouble as the referee brings proceedings to an end. And what an end to the half. You know, Roughnecks working so hard, and they've got a few hands on hips there now because they can't believe they're going in 1-0 at half-time.
Well, and now you've put yourself in a position again where almost, I still think there's a lot of positives that come from the first 45, but Dave, you still give up that goal with 1 minute remaining in the waning moments, and for everything that you might have felt for the positivity, now you've got to find a way to, well, crank it back up a little bit more coming out of that halftime locker room after giving up that late goal.
Yeah, it's the worst time, as I said, to concede. Swope Park go in there and say, okay, all right, we haven't played our best, but we're up against a side that's going to sit in and make it hard for us, but they go in, you know, slightly more on a high now. The Roughnecks just a few shaking of heads, and a few heads are down. So it's Coach Ensign who's going to have to pick them up here and say, you've got nothing to lose, come out, and you're still in this game, and you can match this Swope Park Rangers outfit.
Haji Berry in the waning moments of the first half with his 8th straight goal in 8 games. And Swope Park Rangers have the lead here in downtown Tulsa. Score of 1-0. We'll take a timeout and come back with our halftime show coming up next here. I'm Jeremy Poplin. That's Dave Saunders. Back after this.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel. in Skiatook and Ponca City.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/Power Hours.
Supermercados Morelos has the perfect ingredients for you to enjoy. T-bone steak as well as carne asada and specials every week to have an unforgettable time this season. Only with Supermercados Morelos.
Only excellence passion to serve you is our mission. Only with Morelos, the new tradition.
Theo takes a shot, and that one is good.
And so Francis tapped over the bar by Dan Lind.
Shank cutting it across, the shot is on and in. Hernandez tipped over the bar by Perino. That's number one at his best. Here's Saeed, goal! Oh my goodness! Off to Adi, a save is made by Patterson Sewell. To the right foot of Rioshenko.
David Olson goes for goal, tipped up by Wazinski.
Tsubasa Endo with a great-looking strike. Endo with some room. Takes a strike. Endo hits it and has a hat trick. Forced lasso. Oh, look at Fernando Adi. Into the box. Fernando Adi, far post. Into the box. Corbin Bone. Corbin Bone has it in. With that goal, Manu Ledesma sets a new USL record for assists in a season.
Goal and a score! Incredible goal!
Tampa Bay. They'll try and send one in on the ground. Score! And his service in finds the back of the net.
Wow. It's headed back across and down and in. And is buried into the back of the net.
This could be their moment. It's Baril. Yes! Ball to Decker, and what a shot at the corner of the net. Right-footed shot, and he has it. And St. Louis has stolen a goal. Now headed in for a goal. Oh, and St. Louis has done it. And there it is. He's just scored. Minute Sharp turns the near post, is scored.
Bends it in. Brett is denied and stopped again.
Tambaki's got just enough of a look at it. And he puts it in. Rips that shot. Followed up and in. And he puts his team ahead once again. All right, welcome back. You see the cityscape here from downtown Tulsa on this Saturday evening, September 22nd, with the Swope Park Rangers, the visitors, on a hot streak coming into tonight at One Oak Field, and they currently have the lead 1-0 here at halftime against the Roughnecks. And Dave, it was a little bit of the kiss of death. We were just talking about how disciplined that the Roughnecks were, about how they had adjusted to essentially what we've seen out of the attack so far from the Swope Park Rangers side and what we've seen throughout the season. And just like that, in a moment's notice, there's Haji Berry. He strikes one more time.
Yeah, and that's the sign of a good goal scorer, isn't it? You get one or two touches of the football and he scores a goal. He's done it in the last 7 games before this. He's a quality act, and along with Blackwood up there, you know, Belmar, they are a potent force. But the Roughnecks had done everything right for 44 minutes. And it wasn't a defensive mistake, but you've just got to concentrate for the 45.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and I still feel like, Dave, that there's a lot of positives that come out of the first half, and we'll get things going here. Here's the first attempt, and it wasn't very long before Mr. Blackwood had an opportunity as he sent that one over the top of the bar.
No, there's the lad born in London. He's got 6 goals this season, and that was a good shot. Here's the second opportunity here, but that's good defending from Jacinho, who's back from injury, getting a good defensive tackle in there.
Vukovic now. Left-footed ball from the byline. Rivas on that near-post run. It would have been quite the finish, just a missed chance there for the Roughnecks, and here is the goal now from Barry.
Yeah, all 3 of them, as you alluded to in the commentary, all 3 involved there. Look, one, and then here's Blackwood setting up his partner, and there's nothing Serda can do. Serda dives, but that's a really quality goal from those 3.
All right, so if you're Michael Insian, now the head coach of the Roughnecks, what are you saying to your team that just conceded right before half?
Well, I think you're saying that you've matched a very good team who are sitting in 5th place. You've got nothing to lose, guys. Go out there and let's see what we can do in the second half. You know, from the attacking point of view, I think Sylvania needs to give more support to Gamble. Rivas needs to be on the ball. We haven't seen too much from Eti Tavares, who's a very, very quick player, as you and I know, and he needs to be on the ball as well. So that front 4 really important to the cause if they are going to get back. But I think in a nutshell, he'll be saying, come on, nothing to fear here.
You know, we talked throughout the broadcast about coming down the home stretch now, just a handful of games remaining for a lot of teams. And that goes across the league. So let's take a look at some of the big headlines from around the league in the USL heading this weekend. We've got that major USL announcement that's coming noon our time, 1 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you watch all the social media channels there from the USL. Haji Berry, who that needs to be updated, scored in the last 7 matches. Make that 8 now as he has given Swope Park the lead. And that recent hot streak there from Swope has them in 6th place now there in the Western table. And Dave, when you get to play that number of games at home at Children's Mercy, you can find a way to work your way back up. And here's a look at the table now from both sides of the Eastern and from the Western side. FC Cincinnati just dominating things over there on the Eastern side. And Orange County and Phoenix, what a race that's been, by the way, with those top 4. Not to take anything away from 5, 6, 7, and 8 there on the West, but to me, 1, 2, 3, and 4, those are really good sides on the West.
They are. I mean, we saw Sacramento here at One Oak in the last game, and they gave the Roughnecks a good beating, 4-1. They are a very, very good side, Sacramento. They've always been a good side. Orange County didn't do as well as they are, you know, doing this season, last season, did they? But they've really, you know, ramped things up, and they look really, really good. And this team that the Roughnecks are playing tonight, Swope Park Rangers, as you said, they've played their last 5 games at home. You take care of your points at home, which they've done. Here they are trying to get 3 tonight away from home.
All right, let's get one quick key from you before we take our final timeout for the Roughnecks' point of view, and we'll get the out-of-town scoreboard as well.
I think if Swope Park Rangers get the next goal, I think it's game over, but the Roughnecks are still in with a chance. But as I said, they've got to support Michael Gamble more.
Well, since it is a big weekend, let's look at some of these scores from out of town. We've been updating you throughout the night of exactly what those are, and here we have it. They're in the western side, St. Louis and San Antonio still scoreless. Phoenix with the 2-0 lead at halftime there over Colorado Springs. Rio Grande Valley there with the lead, and we're still waiting on Fresno and T2, Reno and Las Vegas Lights FC, and Los Dos and Real Monarchs. All of those are later starts tonight there on the West Coast. So we still have a lot of games remaining coming up tonight, with a lot of teams still kind of juggling those positions there on the western side of the table. Who's your favorite team that you've seen so far?
I would say Sacramento, but I know they're fresh in my memory because I called the game here a few days ago at One Oak. I thought they were very, very good. I'm liking the front 3 here for Swope Park Rangers. Just a quick word on that top score there. It was 0-0 for San Antonio at St. Louis. They are desperate for points, Pop. If they, you know, they've lost their last 2 games. They lost to Swope Park. They lost to the Roughnecks. They need some points desperately. Darren Powell and his men desperate to get something at St. Louis tonight.
Well, and St. Louis has won 7 in a row at home. And there's still one more match with the Roughnecks there at home, but St. Louis as well, really taking advantage of those home matches here late in the season to put themselves in a spot where maybe, just maybe, they sneak in. And it has long been a lot of opinions coming out of this league that getting in has shown us that that can be enough. Whether you're the 8 seed, the 7 seed, sometimes we've seen that that doesn't really matter. Getting in is enough. You can go on the road and shock one of the higher seeded teams.
Absolutely you can, you know, and I think the Roughnecks got in 8th place last season. You know, anybody can do it, like you say. When you're in that top 8, anything can happen, and I think there's a lot of teams making a run. You're quite right with St. Louis. They've made a really good run. You make it at the right time, which of course is now in the season. You get in there, anything can happen.
Let's take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be set for the kickoff in the second half. Coming up next, live from One Oak Field, as you see the buildings in the background, and we'll be back after this with Tulsa Roughnecks soccer, taking on the Swope Park Rangers live from Tulsa.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skytook and Ponca City.
Today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Well, what truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's the Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
It's not Ram either.
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous.
Get a total value of $8,000 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, trade up and get an additional $1,750 cash allowance. Chevy drives Oklahoma.
Supermercados Morelos has the perfect ingredients for you to enjoy. T-bone steak as well as carne asada and specials every week to have an unforgettable time this season. Only with Supermercados Morelos.
Only excellence passion to serve you is our mission. Only with Morelos, the new tradition.
Hope defines you. Your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. At Hillcrest, we believe every life.
If anyone needs to go, I'll go, okay?
All right, welcome back into Tulsa Roughnecks soccer as we get set for the second half here with the Roughnecks trailing at halftime to Swope Park. Brady, you've been in several positions as we welcome in Brady Ballou, the third member of our broadcast, several positions as a player of conceding right there before half. What typically goes through your mind when you know that you've played, well, a great 44 minutes, just that last minute you concede? How do you have to go in with the mindset that you can regroup and reset coming out in the second half?
It's certainly frustrating, and you know going into that locker room there, the team talk's going to go, you know, kind of, it could go two ways. The coach could be furious with you. It could be, we've done everything right leading up to that, and then we do something that silly, or you take the other side of this, and what I assume is what the Roughnecks chatted about in the locker room is we've done everything right. A simple mistake shouldn't change our plan at this point. So hopefully the Roughnecks can bunker down and you know, get back to the suited plan.
All right, back underway. Zendejas has it. And the Roughnecks now a throw-in to their advantage. Vukovic there looking for Cervania. Unable to link up with him. Somehow Barry kept that in play.
I think from the Roughnecks point of view, just looking, if Coach Enzian does need to make an attacking change, you're probably looking at Isaac Diaz, the number 25, and also the number 16, DJ Dean. They would be my favourites to bring on if the score stays as it is. But an important 45 minutes for the Roughnecks here.
Tavares.
I'm just wondering whether, just to try something different, whether Eti Tavares and Joachim Rivas might swap wings in a minute. Eti Tavares hasn't had much joy down the Roughnecks' right. I wonder if he'd have more joy down the left.
Foul in the Tulsa favors. You see Vukovic there. Keeps it in play down the touchline. Has Mirkovic run there from Gamble. A poke from Gamble. And Zendejas with a great save to open up the second half. First legit scoring chance for the Roughnecks in quite some time, Dave, and it was all set up.
Well, Michael Gamble, they're really trying to surprise Zendejas with the timing of his shot. He didn't wait. You'll see it here. He takes it early. It was a really good effort from him, but a fine save. Brady Ballou would have had a pretty good view of that. Brady, do you agree that he kind of took it early?
Yeah, he had to take it early with that center back. I couldn't tell if it was Didic or not. Bearing down on him, it's kind of catching that goalkeeper off guard. I think Lionel Messi does it so well. Just those toe pokes that just deceive the goalkeeper and the timing, and especially with the stride Michael Gamble has. It's a very small stride, so being able to toe poke at a moment's notice is lethal.
Rivas to Vukovic, left-footed ball, finds Tavares. On the help, Paris G's shot is blocked away, and then Tavares. We're going to have a Metro PCS corner for the Roughnecks. Metro PCS wireless figured out.
Yeah, Eti Tavares there, just showing what he can do. Paris G getting the layback from him, and good defending though. You want to get something in the way, obviously, but here's, as you say, the Metro PCS corner from Rivas.
Rivas, header directly at the keeper, Zendejas, and he kept it from going over the line.
That was close. In the English Premiership, the referee might be taking a look at his watch there for the goal line technology, but there's no question from me it did go over the line, by the way. But what a header from Josh Morton, and what a great piece of positioning from Zendejas. And what a ball from Didic.
Ball punched to the corner. We'll get there in time, but the assistance flag is up on the far side, and we'll have a replay at this header from Josh Morton.
Well, he met it beautifully, and if he'd just gone either side of the keeper pop, we might be looking at a 1-1 scoreline, but he went straight into the gloves of Zendejas. Great delivery from Rivas, wasn't it? Roughnecks have come out really well in this first 5 minutes here in the second half.
Yeah, answered some of our questions that we had at half. Gamble more active here in the first few moments of the second half than what he has been the entire match. Vukovic harassed, wins the throw-in. Quickly to Rivas. It's good defending, and they'll call this a goal kick. That is great from Silva.
That was outstanding defending, because it looked like the Roughnecks were in there, but just a long leg came out and made a perfectly timed tackle.
Zendejas, who's been called into action twice here in the first 5 minutes, sends this one forward. Gamble. Well, Zendejas got lackadaisical. Pushed that out too far in front of him. Just pointed to his chest, and his other teammates said that one was on him. Credit to Gamble, though, for being there.
Yeah, Michael Gamble chasing down what looked like a lost cause, but nearly getting in there. Zendejas just hurried clearance in the end.
Good work from Bilyeu to not allow the corner. Morden. Mirkovic back to Serta. Fabian's long ball for Tavares. And the assistant has his flag pointing in the direction of the Swope Park Rangers.
Well, and the referee overruled him.
And he did overrule him.
Quite rightly as well, in my opinion. I didn't think there was any foul on Bilyeu at all. And I'll say again, if Eti Tavares can get one-on-one with Bilyeu, I think he'll give him a problem or two. And I think that's what they're trying to do, the Roughnecks. They've been up the left wing, they're up the right wing as well. They need to get the ball wide.
Morden head up looking, trying to force it now to Tavares. Roughnecks just surrounding Akhmatov. Still, Swope comes away with it, though. There's Barry. Well done from Paris G. Was able to stay in front of Barry.
Yeah, Paris G's been, you know, I was saying in the first half, when the Roughnecks look back over this season and look at the positives from the season, Paris G will be another one. He's involved, I think this is his 30th appearance tonight. He's certainly started 28 games and he's been involved. He's played a variety of positions. Didn't play in the Portland game because he was sick, and the Roughnecks come again. But he's been really good for the Roughnecks this season.
Tremendous effort there from Vukovic. Just had two defenders there, making sure that he could not attempt that cross.
Well, the Roughnecks are almost playing like three at the back, aren't they? Because Vukovic is virtually playing alongside Brady Bilyeu there on the touchline. Brady, it's good to see Vukovic getting up that left-hand side. And you and I were talking in the last couple of games, perhaps his deliveries haven't been as good, but they've been pretty good tonight, haven't they?
I think the one thing you can count on from Vukovic is service. Whether it's, you know, exactly where he wants to put it or not, you can count that he's going to whip that ball in the box. And as a forward or as an attacking midfielder, that's what you want to know. You want to know that you can count on him to, you know, have that service consistently. And so for me, it's encouraging to see Vukovic getting up that wing. And that's contributing to why Carlton Belmar hasn't been able to be so effective for Swope Park tonight. He's having to track Vukovic all the way down this sideline, and therefore he doesn't have any energy to attack. So kudos to the Roughnecks, and I'd like to see Paris G kind of emulate what Vukovic is doing over here on this left.
'55th minute. Curling ball that glanced off of the head of Morton there. Roughnecks handle it. Gamble with Rivas. Nice from Rivas. Ball still on his foot. Tries to hit Gamble. Continued on his run. Just unlucky there. Came off the side of Michael Gamble. And a foul now in favor of the Roughnecks. Mirkovic, they play early. It's Paris Guy.
Yeah, I kind of like that, and I kind of don't.
All right, sorry, that's Cervania. My apologies.
I think, you know, Mirkovic trying to keep things, you know, keep the momentum going, but I think I would have rather have had a shot on frame there from the Roughnecks, but there we go.
Yeah, it was a quick decision there from Mirkovic to go to Cervania.
I mean, sometimes it comes off pop, doesn't it? And when it doesn't, you just wonder if they should have just had a shot on frame. But
Morton will shield that off, takes a big shot. Referee has him. New Balance is the official sportswear provider for the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. You can look for a full line of New Balance products in the Roughnecks team store at One Oak Field. Wide and settled nicely. Mirkovic harassed from behind. Jacinho. Go back the other direction, settle there, Cervania. Tavares with some space. Tries to cut inside Bilyeu. And they're going to whistle a foul there on Tavares. Well, that was the matchup, Dave Saunders, that you were talking about that you wanted, and Tavares almost got away with it.
He almost did. I think he does just clip. I think the referee and his assistant here just about get this right. You'll see here, if you run across the back of someone's legs, then, you know, it's given us a free kick. So I like it there, Tavares, but that's what he needs to do. He needs to be one-on-one to give Bilyeu, the lad from St. Louis, a little bit of a game tonight.
Replays tonight brought to you by Harsco and Tankersley Food Service.
I take it you were pleased with the Premiership results today, my friend, from England?
Been pretty pleased for the entirety of the season so far.
It's quality stuff, isn't it?
Long throw in. Jacinho had to get up in the air. Handball there on Campbell.
It's amazing how quickly the game of soccer internationally moves on. You know, it wasn't that long ago we were all watching the World Cup, and quickly the league start, and it all becomes a distant memory very quickly, doesn't it?
And it does in a flash. That can be good in some ways and poor in others.
Good to see Sir Alex Ferguson back from his surgery as well.
Yes.
He was at Old Trafford today, wasn't he?
Mishit there from Gamble. Upset with himself.
And I think from the Roughnecks point of view, they want to keep the momentum going. From the Swope Park point of view, they just want to get their foot into this second half. They want a decent chance on goal and try and kill the game off with a second if they can.
Covarrubias has been quiet so far here through the opening moments of the second half. Not many opportunities for him so far. Jacinho, somehow that ball squirts free. Vukovic from the corner. It was Belmar that was back.
Yeah, it was a little flicked header on there, wasn't there, for Vukovic? But to be fair, as you said, Belmar just cut off the channel there, as Vukovic would have been hitting that one in first time. Could have been a dangerous ball in. But Brady Ballou made a great point, didn't he, with Belmar? You know, so potent up front, he's having to track back.
Yes.
There he is again, almost playing right back now.
That's also credit to Joaquin Rivas is occupying Colton Storm on this inside. So Joaquin's just checking in between Smith and Storm here, which makes Storm have to tuck in. Therefore, Belmar's having to come back over and over again. If I'm Belmar, I might be having a little conversation come the 70th minute with Storm saying, hey, help me out. We need to put this game away. So looking forward to that unfolding here soon.
Gamble. Trying to fit it there to Tavares. Covarrubias Rivas. I'm going to go 1v2 against Swope Park.
Yeah, Smith with another good challenge on Rivas, foiling the danger.
Cervania spins away from would-be trouble. Vukovic keeps it in on the byline there towards the penalty spot. Good defending there from Didic. Just enough to knock it away. His gamble was right there at the PK spot.
Yeah, another chance for the Roughnecks. Foiled there, but good defending again. Good positioning by the defenders. It's interesting to me, Pop, that when I was doing a few stats for this, at Swope Park with tonight's goal have scored 46, but they have conceded 48. And that's quite interesting to me that a team in 5th place, you know, has not scored more than they've conceded. They've been involved in some big numbers. You know, they beat Reno 4-3 in the opening day of the season. They've been involved in some big scores. And they're having to defend here again, the Roughnecks, for another corner.
It's off of Graham Smith, the captain. It's a Metro PCS corner for the Roughnecks. Metro PCS wireless figured out. Both hands in the air. Joaquin Rivas. Blackwood. Headed away. Rivas settles. The blast! Zendejas. Another big save. That's 3 here in the second half, and he is pleading with his defense.
Well, what do the Roughnecks need to do to score a goal? What a great ball, first of all. What a fantastically hit shot by that man in your shot now, Joaquin Rivas. And what a save from the goalkeeper. Quality play from both teams.
It's a well-hit ball, curling now off of the corner.
There's the replay. And
Vukovic has to track this one down.
I think Brady Ballou probably had a fantastic view of that shot. Brilliant save from the keeper in the end, Brady.
Oh, it's unbelievable from my point of view. I'm directly right behind Joaquin Rivas in that situation. The only way I can describe it is, you know, when a salmon is jumping up, you know, a stream, and they wiggle and they flex their way as much as they can. That's what Zendejas was. He was at complete stretch, wiggling his fingertips out at full extension to push that around the bar. It was truly, truly magnificent.
Brady Ballou, that's the first time I've ever heard a keeper essentially referred to as a salmon. So credit to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
He brings poetry to the broadcast, doesn't he? Another corner.
And amazingly enough, we all understand exactly what he was trying to say.
We do.
Can you tell I missed the Pacific Northwest?
Rivas' corner. Jacinho. And then an attempt from distance there from Covarrubias.
Yeah, he was about 35 yards out. I mean, that would have been goal of the, not let alone goal of the week. That would have been goal of the season if Covarrubias had hit that one in.
It is Star Wars night here this evening. That would have, are you ready for this? My Star Wars reference?
Here we go.
That would have been from the Dagobah system.
Crickets.
Thank you, Brady. See, Dave, I appreciate you because you let me set in that one, and I deserved every moment of having to set in that awfulness that was my Star Wars reference of the night.
I was not going to say a word, my friend.
And I appreciate that.
You can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the league at the league's official Facebook page. As the Roughnecks now have a corner, a Metro PCS corner, you can follow on that Facebook page at facebook.com/USL Soccer. Zendejas up in the air. Tavares was behind him. Settled. An attempt, Serta. Looked a tad bit more difficult than what it was for Serta, and now the foul. And the card that has been issued.
And I like that from Michael Gamble, Pop. I think that's, you know, real professional, calm play. He's been, you know, heavily fouled, and he just gets up and gets on with it, and that's really good. Silva with the untidy challenge there, wasn't it? Roughnecks have had 5 corners in this second half, having had none in the first half, so really knocking on the door. They're going to make a substitution, I think, pretty soon. Lots of subs warming up on both teams. And I think if my eyes don't deceive me, we could be seeing Isaac Diaz.
Isaac Diaz almost had a wonder goal previously.
Yes, he did. It was a fantastic save in the end from Cardoni in the San Antonio goal.
Here's Tavares. Slots it there, and Joaquin Rivas has finished for the Roughnecks on the ball from Eti Tavares, and the Roughnecks make it level here in the 68th. Goal number 11 on the season for Joaquin Rivas.
And what an assist from Eti Tavares. We said earlier on in the commentary he needed to be one-on-one. He got the ball to his feet. He played the perfect ball in if you are Joaquin Rivas, who will thank him so much for that ball in. And Rivas does the rest from, what, 5-6 yards out. 1-1 the score, game on.
As we will watch on the replay.
The delivery is absolutely fantastic. There is Tavares. That is good from him. Look at that ball there, and Rivas gets ahead of the defender.
Rivas with the perfect run. And even what I liked, Dave, was the run also on the backside of that by Cervania. If Rivas couldn't get to that, Brandon Cervania was going to be the next player there.
Absolutely, and it just shows the attacking intent from Mike Enzian's men in this second half. And now Swope Park have really got to dig deep. Of course, it's still level, but they've really got to dig deep now.
And it shows you what Tavares can do when he's able to attack that defender straight on. Bill, you.
Well, he went past him as though he wasn't there. I mean, he's that quick. And, you know, then playing, as I said, the perfect ball for your mate there, and who's making a fantastic run. Rivas had one in the first half, but he was almost forward of the post, if you get my drift here. He was forward of the near post. That one, he was central to the goal. And there's nothing that Zendejas could do in the Swope Park Rangers goal. I'm sure Brady Ballou had a fantastic view of that as well. Wasn't it the perfect ball in, Brady?
The perfect ball. Well done to all players involved in that situation. But what's going to go at this point, I think, for me, is the deft touch. Putting Eti Tavares in behind. So kudos to Gamble. Just that deft touch, put Eti in behind, and then Eti does the rest. And Joaquin, it's
Tavares one more time. We're having a bit of technical issues with Brady. We'll see if we can't get that figured out here in 1 minute. Tavares one more time. Silva did a better job of cutting down the angle. Jacinho's ball from the back line.
Now that time, that was good from Bill Yu, wasn't it?
It was
Stood
much
up.
better. Tavares, though, fortunate. Step over move, leaves it here. His shot, oh, and off of the deflection, a missed chance, Gamble. And Gamble did about everything that he could with that ball, Dave.
He did. I mean, it was Mihikovic there, I think, probably trying to strike on the outside of his right foot, and it came to Gamble. We'll see here, Eti Tavares on the ball. He'll lay it back here to Mihikovic. Mihikovic here will strike one, and then it was just wide. Thanks again to the Harsco and Tanksley Food replay there, because it just came to Gamble a little bit quickly, and he may well have got an offside flag as well if he'd put that one on frame. What a game, though, Pop. What a game of soccer this is. Both sides now really, you feel, going for the 3 points. They have to.
And the Roughnecks have been the more lively side here by far, and with quality in the second half.
Well, let me ask you, if you're the Swope Park coach, do you say, no, we need a point, we'll just go away with a point? You know, the Roughnecks, they've got nothing to lose. They're going to go for all three, aren't they? If you're Swope now, do you kind of sit in and say, OK, we're under the cosh, we'll try and take a point?
Cervania. Nice ball from Cervania to Gamble. Gamble! Just missed. Oh, from our vantage point, we thought that one was in.
Michael Gamble there, the man in shot, is so lively. He had a quiet first half. He's come to life in this second half, and he strikes the shot there. There was probably not enough bend on it just to put it inside that right-hand post of Zendejas, but he's wide here. There he shoots across goal. No bend on it there, but what an effort from him.
What about the cheeky little chip there from Cervania as well? The Roughnecks still not done. Oh, Rivas wanted a handball there from Storm. Off the deflection, right back to Rivas, and just unfortunate as Vukovic overran that one.
Well, you can see Coach Ensi in there, and he is having a real go at the referee, saying that was a definite handball. Why wasn't it a penalty for my team, he's saying. I don't know if we can get a replay on that one, Pop, but my first thought on it, it wasn't a penalty, but we're going to see a couple of substitutions now, aren't we?
Brady, did you have a vantage point? Was that a handball?
It looked like Storm had his back to me, so I didn't have much of a vantage point here, but from just how the human body moves in that type of situation, normally when the ball comes into contact, your hand, it's something in just how the human body works. Your hand revolts back, right? It makes a movement away to almost say, like, I didn't touch it. So I didn't see anything from that. It looked all natural movement. So benefit of the doubt goes to the defender in that situation.
Sub here for the Roughnecks. This will be Isaac Diaz on for Brandon Cervania.
And that will almost be a straight swap. Diaz will go into that attacking midfield role. We've seen him score a goal. We've seen him nearly score a goal, as you alluded to in the commentary. But it'll be in the same formation for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Was that Minter that came in?
It was indeed the former Roughnecks man, of course, yeah. Interesting, though, Mike Ensign was absolutely 100% sure, as you know, any coach would be for his team, that you don't often see him as animated as that, Pop, and he thought that was a penalty kick.
Yeah, Ensign is a cool customer.
But I think the coach for Swope Park must be thinking, wow, why we're not defending as well as we did in the first half, and we've got to tighten things up.
Though you cannot track this one down. Off the post, you can stay up to date with all the best from social media from around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL social media channels. Throw in deep from the corner now. Paris G as Covarrubias.
Tell you what, the game has flown by, isn't it? We've only got 15 minutes left. It's been such an entertaining second half.
Diaz, his first action of the night. Rivas, Gamble, still on sides. Michael Gamble looking there on the run, the shot. Oh, and an incredible save by Zendejas, keeping the Swope Park Rangers alive.
Joachim Rivas looking for his second on the night. Brilliant play again from Gamble down the left-hand side here. Look at this run from Gamble, and then he'll look up. He'll find his teammate here. A little look up. We'll lay it to Gamble. There it is, and there's Rivas with the shot. And it is a fantastic save from Zendejas. He just needed a little bit of luck when the ball almost rolled away from him. But quality goalkeeping, quality attacking again. And credit Coach Ensign, because he said something to the Roughnecks at half-time, and they're a totally different team in the second.
Bottle it up and sell it. Well played by Jacinho. Diaz. Isaac spins off of one. It's Bilyu. Or excuse me, that was Minter that just came in. Here's Bilyu. Back in front of Tavares. Etty now being closed down. Silva had the challenge on Diaz. Covarrubias now back to Fabian Serta. Court Furniture Rentals played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home. And speaking of at home, Zendejas has made a home of One Oak Field tonight, and that was Gamble with another chance.
Wow. I'm sure Brady Ballou got a really good view of that. My view, I mean, Gamble just read it. The defenders were asleep, and Zendejas, good job, he's pretty tall, Brady Ballou, or that would have been 2-1.
Should have been 2-1. A great save by Zendejas. As the ball kind of bounced into Michael Gamble's stride, it almost seemed like he had to go over Zendejas, where the best option, I think, easy to say now, right, is to just slide it right past him. But what I think this assistant referee on your guys' side of the field needs to pay attention to, when Zendejas is serving that ball out, he is coming outside of his 18. It's something that if the referee's paying attention to, that will be a free kick.
Serta has it, wanted to go deep here in a hurry. And that will actually be a corner now for the Roughnecks, a Metro PCS corner. It was Gamble on the quick run. That's 2 plays in a row now in which Fabian Serta's service has put Gamble in a position to be successful. And I didn't think that ball was going to bounce all the way through originally to Gamble.
No, I mean, it was incredible.
Wow.
It did.
Chaos.
Seventh corner, and Brady, in all the excitement, absolutely right. I was going to say the same thing. Zendejas is going out of his area, punting the ball down the field. Something for the referee to look at.
Diaz found its way through. Jacinho just couldn't do anything with it. And in the 79th minute, this all-out assault here for the Roughnecks continues.
Referee telling Zendejas to get on with it. Zendejas said, I couldn't find a football that we can play with. I just wonder if Swope Park need to just slow this all down a little bit, Pop, because the Roughnecks are on fire here. A point would not be disastrous. I think 0 points probably would be for Swope Park. But never count them out. We've said before, haven't we? It was 44 minutes gone, and the front three hadn't done an awful lot for Swope in the first half, and then up comes our man Haji Barry and scores his 16th of the season.
Rivas. Ball bounces back to Joaquin. Rivas was still on side. Nice ball there. Vukovic is cutting ball right there for Zendejas. Picked it right out of midair.
Yeah, it's a shame there that Rivas didn't go himself. I think he had more time than he thought. He tried the 1-2 with poor old Vukovic, who in the end had a hurried cross, which was plucked out of the air by Zendejas.
Wayward ball there on the giveaway. Looks like we will have another sub for Swope Park Rangers coming up here in a minute as we are in the 81st.
There, I think Rivas had more time than he thought. He just laid a ball off there. Perhaps could have had a shout of turn from one of his teammates and he could have been in.
Minter.
I'll say again, Pop, that if there are fans watching, you know, this and they haven't watched the Roughnecks at all this season, you know, they will have been impressed with this second half performance from the bottom side.
Well, and here's a dangerous man, Belmar, from the corner, step over. Bilyeu's ball cleared out of play.
Going to see another Swope Park Rangers substitution.
And this will be for the goal scorer, Barry.
Colorado's Springs switchbacks have pulled a goal back at home to Phoenix Rising. It's now 2-1 to Phoenix in Colorado.
Rebellion on for Barry, whose goal tonight to close out the first half. It's been the only goal for the visitors so far. Tavares, good work on the clearance. Throw in now for Swope Park. Their captain, Smith. Didic's service. Serta kind of one-handed it there with the right hand. Quickly to the other end. Maybe not necessarily what you want in that moment. Brady, how vocal is Coach Insian right now?
There's certainly a sense of urgency from the Roughnecks bench here. I think there's a real sense of purpose in the way they're playing, and I would be a crazy man not to bet that I'd favor the Roughnecks at this point with all the momentum they've got to put one in the back of the net before this 90-minute.
Dave, you can sense in the last 3 minutes, I think that urgency has finally hit Swope a bit.
I was just thinking that as you said that, actually, that there's some urgency now. They want all 3 points. You know, a point, as I said, wouldn't be disastrous for them. I think if they lost the game, it would be you know, put them on the back foot a little bit going forward to the business end of the season. But wait a minute, here they come again.
Long throw in from Storm. Belmar. Wishful thinking from Belmar. Serta standing over this one. Yeah, maybe a few numbers now. Gets in behind. Serta steps in front, and now the Roughnecks have a chance to turn their own version of a counter. Here's Diaz from midfield. Gamble turns quickly. Gamble into some space. Tavares now from the touchline. Tavares working against Bilyeu. Tavares off of the deflection. Oh, an attempted header there from Mirkovic. Roughneck fans wanted a call, and Mirkovic is down.
Well, what was Mirkovic doing inside the box heading the football? We very rarely see that. But a wonderful opportunity. He's got a bit of a knock there. The referee said there was no question of a penalty kick. So on we go.
That's good work there from Josh Morton, who got cut down. I think Mirkovic now has signaled he might need a sub. Watch here on the replay. There might have been a handball in there.
That's what I was just looking at. Mirkovic went down as though he was pushed, but I think you might be right. Two cases of, you know, appeals for handballs. Current table, Pop, has Swope Park in 6th place on 50 points, a point behind Timbers 2. More importantly, they're 6 points ahead of San Antonio, who are the 9th place team at the moment. So it's going to be an exciting end to the season, isn't it?
Brady, did they just award a yellow?
It looks like it. I wouldn't be surprised with all the emotion right now, just to settle the game, settle some nerves, the referee to step up and kind of make one of those decisions. And from the Roughnecks' point of view, it looks like they're going to make a positive change here, putting in DJ Dean, looks like possibly for the wilted Mirkovic.
Yeah, somebody got a card in there. We'll try and find out a little bit about that. We can also tell you that the Roughnecks are off the foot of the table in the live standings because they're getting a point while Seattle are losing 2-0.
Covarrubias is set to put this one back in play. You can get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. What a moment from a player's perspective this would be for Tavares. From the byline. Calling for it there is Diaz. Just poked away from him at the very end. That was great helping back there by Hernandez.
It certainly was, and Diaz arriving late there, just couldn't get enough on it. Good defending again.
Belmar got behind. Oh, the header.
Well, it just shows you cannot take your eyes off this one.
That was inches away. It slammed into the side of the netting. Watch this on the replay.
Yeah, Belmar here drops his shoulder there, goes past Parachi. Good ball into the box, header just wide of the target.
It is DJ Dean who makes his appearance here tonight. On for Mirkovic. Is there a little magic in the youngster?
I think you'll see Covarrubias just sit really deep now. There he is in the center circle, just in front of Jairzinho and Morton, without Mirkovic there now.
Foul on Morton. Give a quick shout out to Tulsa Bona Joint as well, who's the official orthopedic provider of the Roughnecks, and who allowed the great Kobe Smith to march up and down the sidelines as the athletic trainer for the Roughnecks. That one just shy of the mark. I don't know if we'll have much time at all added on, Dave.
No, it's been a really good game, hasn't it? And everybody's, you know, got up and got on with the game. There hasn't been too many stoppages. Maybe 2 minutes for the substitutions.
Yeah, just 1 minute added. And this is a case, if you're Swope, to me at this moment, this is where you want to pull back just a bit. Like you said, 1 point is better than none, and they're going for it here. Serta, though. And maybe one last opportunity to push up the field for the Roughnecks. Tavares. foul on Minter.
Coach Henson's over there saying time, take your time, get some men in the box. And now pretty much everybody back in a white shirt here for Swope, trying to defend their 18-yard line.
Referee wants to hold off now, push Minter back just a few more paces. Being a stickler. And now Minter takes 2 steps forward, and this is going to cost him a card. While that is going on, I want to remind you that Case & Associates is your home for the Roughnecks players when they're not on the pitch, and you can look to Case for your apartment needs. You can find Case & Associates online at caseusa.com.
It was Josh Morton earlier on, Pop, that got the card in the 86th minute for the Roughnecks.
Must have been something that he said after that foul. The important service from Vukovic. Line drive ball hit directly at Zendejas. He has it collected. And on the outlet pass, that will do it. It was Joaquin Rivas who leveled things in the 68th minute with his 11th goal of the season. And the Roughnecks will earn a point tonight, as will Swope Park Rangers, as they go on the road for the first time since August 29th and come away with one important point for them in trying to solidify their spot here in the Western table. And there's got to be a little bit of them that they might be a tad bit frustrated just with the overall records of each side, that they didn't come out of here with 3, but still a point is a point in this situation.
A point is a point. I think in the end, I think, you know, with the second half performance of the Roughnecks, I thought, you know, Swope Park will be glad really to have got away with a point. I say got away with because credit the bottom side, who now actually are off the foot of the bottom, foot of the table with that point tonight. I thought the Roughnecks really took it to Swope Park, didn't let them play, and in the end, I think it's about a fair result. Swope Park was certainly the better side in the first half, but credit the Roughnecks. They defended well against a potent front 3. 2 of those players went off because the coach had to make a change for Swope Park. And in the end, the Roughnecks, what was 7 second-half corners? You know, what an amazing game. And you know, a goalkeeper in Zendejas who's performed heroically tonight, and quite rightly getting a good handshake from the coaching staff from the Roughnecks as well.
Pretty impressive performance for Tulsa to bounce back the way they did in the second half, and I think that is clearly something to build on here, as they will now hit the road and head to Reno before they come back home against Rio Grande Valley, and then close out at St. Louis, and then Seattle Sounders FC2 here on October 13th. Let's look at the first half highlights from tonight, and it didn't take very long at all for Swope to have an early opportunity, and it was Mr. Blackwood who was rather quiet in the second half, Dave Saunders, but here's his first attempt early.
Yeah, first attempt early there. He got substituted in the second, but Swope kept coming into the game. That was a good interception from Jacinho, and then the Roughnecks had their first opportunity.
Yeah, Vukovic here looking near post for Rivas, turned away, and that gives us right here the goal by Barry in the closing moments of the first half.
Yeah, we said the front 3 all combining there, and Barry continues to set records, and that's his 8th goal in as many games. And that took us into a 1-0 lead for the away side at half-time.
Yeah, the assist there from Blackwood. The Roughnecks had to regroup as they go into half. And now we'll shift into the second half. And here's Michael Gamble getting involved in the action early with the nice little poke and the save by Zendejas.
Yeah, Zendejas was a busy man in the second half, and that was the shot early. This was the Morton header, which was straight at the keeper, almost over the line there.
And they're not done. Here's Rivas. Settles in the shot, and an incredible save from Zendejas, and he was hot.
Yeah, he was. You didn't quite see it on that angle, but he got a good hand to that. But this was Eti Tavares at his best, going round players, laying a brilliant ball in for Rivas. Rivas is 11th of the season, and we were at ones. Here it is again. Nutmegs the defender Smith, brings a brilliant ball in there, and 8 yards out. There's Rivas.
Roughnecks still not done. Little chip, gamble. And Zendejas may have got just a smidge of that one.
Just not enough bend on it there, but again, a cheeky chip. But here, here's Gamble again, setting up his friend.
And just one more save. Zendejas really saved the day. And this long ball from Serta, I didn't know that Gamble was going to get to it. He did. Just not enough height on it, but credit Zendejas one more time. And there's the man of the match, Michael Gamble, who here tonight made an impact, a significant impact in the second half.
He certainly did, and I talk about bright spots from a season when, you know, you're down the foot of the table. It's been a long, hard season, not over yet, but they'll look back at bright spots like Michael Gamble. He performed heroically. You know, he did his best in the first half with little service. Second half, he was lively. He was coming up through the middle, down the left, and he really gave Swope Park Rangers a real scare. And that little chip at the end there, you know, Smith, the defender, was just caught ball watching a little bit, and Zendejas kept Swope Park Rangers in it. But credit to Michael Gamble. He's worked really, really hard for the cause.
Well, it was a great performance from the Roughnecks tonight and had to battle their way back from a late goal in the first half. But they will be back on the practice field this week and over at Titan, getting better. Titan Sports and Performance Center, the official training center for the Roughnecks. Make sure you check out their website at titansportscomplex.com. And they'll need all the work this week to continue to get better because they go on the road at Reno 1868 FC. For our friend Brady Ballou, doing a great job on the sidelines tonight. For all of the crew here at One Oak, making our jobs that much easier, we want to say thank you. And thank you to those of you watching on Cox Your View and ESPN Plus. For my partner Dave Saunders, I'm Jeremy Poplin saying have a good night from all of us here in downtown Tulsa. Final score, a 1-1 draw between Tulsa and Swope Park. Have a good night.
100 years, Tulsa has trusted Hillcrest Medical Center. Decades of innovation, inspiration, and passion have positioned Hillcrest as a premier hospital in Tulsa. It takes more than just medicine to save a life. It takes courage, patience, and determination. Thank you for a century of trust and the privilege to serve you. Hillcrest Medical Center, serving Oklahoma for 100 years.
Today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Whoa. What truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's a Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
It's not Ram either.
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous.
Get a total value of $8,000 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, trade up and get an additional $1,750 cash allowance. Chevy drives Oklahoma. Find new roads.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/powerhours.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United